Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Cycle on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Jumai Manson. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. Now the news in full. The federal government has declared Wednesday, May 27th and Thursday, May 28th, 2026 as public holiday to mark the Eid el-Kabir celebration across the country. Minister of Interior Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo announced the declaration in a statement issued by the ministry's permanent secretary Magdalene Ajani, describing Eid el-Adha as a festival rooted in sacrifice, obedience to God and compassion for humanity. The government urged Nigerians to use the holiday period for prayers, reflection, and national unity, while wishing Muslims in Nigeria and across the diaspora peaceful and joyous celebration. The Coalition Center for the African Democratic Congress, ADC, has been set up ahead of the party's presidential primary election in Abuja. Officials say the center will serve as the hub for receiving, verifying, and collating results from across the country as part of member votes to elect the party's presidential candidate for the 2027 general election. Details will come to you later. Over now to the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, University Jos Branch has warned of a looming industrial crisis in Nigeria's public universities over what it described as the federal government's slow and inconsistent implementation of the 2025 FGN/ASU agreement. Speaking during a press conference at the Union Secretariat in the University of Jos on Monday, the branch leadership said frustration was growing among academics, warning that the fragile peace within the university system could soon collapse if urgent steps were not taken. The union said its National Executive Council, NEC, which met at Modibo Adama University on May 9th and 10th, 2026, reviewed the implementation of December 23rd, 2025 agreements reached with the federal government and expressed dissatisfaction with the level of compliance. According to ASU, the failure of government to fully implement the agreement could trigger another round of industrial action across public universities. The Federal High Court in Abuja has adjourned further proceedings in the forfeiture suit filed by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission against 9 properties linked to former Bayelsa State Governor Temilore Silva until July 16th. Justice Obiora Owatu fixed a new date after EFCC counsel Oluwaleke Atolegbe informed the court he was yet to file a compliance report regarding the interim forfeiture order earlier granted by the court. The properties located in Abuja's Maitama, Wuse 2, Garki, Mpape, and Dakabiyu Street district were temporarily forfeited to the federal government in April following allegations linking them to Silva, who also served as Minister of State for Petroleum Resources. The federal government has opened its case against social media influencer Justice Chidebere, popularly known as Justice Crack, over an amended 3-count charge bordering on alleged cybercrime and felony before the Federal High Court in Abuja. The defendant pleaded not guilty before Justice Joyce Abdulmalik, after which the prosecution called its first witness, Oronto Douglas, who told the court that audio and video evidence from the defendant's interview had been downloaded into a flash drive with a certificate of compliance attached. The court retained the bail conditions earlier granted to the defendant and adjourned the matter until September 28 to allow the prosecution obtain approval for the viewing of forensic evidence. The Army War College Nigeria has reaffirmed its resolve to raise a new generation of highly skilled, strategic and combat-ready military leaders capable of confronting Nigerians' evolving security threats. Commandant of the college, Umar Mohammed Al-Khali, stated this at the opening of the 7th Annual Symposium on the Nigerian Civil War held at the Tukuru Yusuf Buratai Auditorium in Abuja. Kikelomo Okere reports.
The Nigerian Army War College says continuous study of Nigerian civil war remains critical to strengthening national unity, deepening military professionalism, and preventing the mistakes of the past from resurfacing. Commandant of the college, Major General Umar Mohammed Al-Khali, says building intellectual capacity, strategic thinking, and historical awareness among senior military officers is essential to enhancing Nigerian security architecture and improving operational readiness. According to him, understanding past conflict equip military leaders with the foresight and tactical knowledge required to confront modern security threats, including terrorism, insurgency, banditry, and other asymmetric warfare challenges facing the nation.
The Nigerian Civil War remains one of the most defining events in our nation's history till date. As much as it represents a period of pain in our nation, it also presents opportunities for lessons in national unity, leadership, and post-conflict reconciliation.
The commandant also noted that this year's symposium, which focuses on indigenous technological innovations during the Nigerian War, reflects the Nigerian Army's growing emphasis on self-reliance, innovation, and adaptability in modern warfare. He explained that the initiatives align with the command philosophy of the Chief of the Army Staff aimed at transforming the Nigerian Army into a more professional, resilient, and mission-oriented force capable of operating effectively within joint and multi-agency security environments.
It also enables us to critically assess how historical experiences can inform the contemporary security challenges bedeviling our great nation, Nigeria, and the wider African continent.
The symposium attracted military officers, academics, security experts, and researchers from across the country to examine lessons from the Civil War and their reliance to contemporary national security operations. Kike Lomo Okere, Global TV News.
Over now to Imo State Police Command says it has intensified its fight against crime with the training of over 300 officers in forensic and fraud investigations. In addition, it has paraded 179 suspects arrested for serious criminal offenses across the state. Our correspondent Amarachi Ibe tells us more that the command says the twin strategy of capacity building and intelligence-led operations is yielding significant results in the battle against insecurity. The report.
In a move aimed at strengthening modern policing and enhancing crime detection, the Imo State Police Command assembled officers drawn from divisions, formations, and tactical units for a specialized training on forensic and fraud investigations in Owerri. Representing the Commissioner of Police, Imo State Command, CP Audu Garba Bose, the Deputy Commissioner of Police, DCP Hamman Joda Baraka, said the training comes at critical time when criminals are deploying sophisticated and technology-driven methods to evade arrest. He noted that equipping officers with advanced forensic and investigative skills will improve professionalism, strengthen evidence-based investigations, and boost public confidence in policing.
The knowledge gained here should reflect in improved investigative standards, ethical conduct, and enhanced service delivery across the command.
Leading the team from Force Headquarters, Dr. Pearl Chidinma Obulu charged participants to translate the knowledge gained into actionable results that will strengthen investigations and accelerate delivery of justice.
This knowledge gained here today will not only enhance your investigative skills, but contribute immensely to justice delivery, crime prevention, and public trust in the Nigerian police force.
Meanwhile, in a major breakthrough against criminality, the Commissioner of Police, CP Audu Garba Bose, paraded 179 suspects arrested during coordinated operations carried out across the state within the last 2 months. The Commissioner of Police Imo State revealed that the suspects are linked to offenses including kidnapping, armed robbery, rape, cultism, cybercrime, unlawful possession of firearms, amongst others. He further disclosed that security operatives recovered a crèche of weapons and other incriminating exhibits.
In the course of investigating the aforementioned suspect, a large number of exhibits were recovered, including 2 general-purpose gun machines, GPMG, 6 AK-47 rifles, 10 pump-action guns, 4 locally fabricated single-barrel guns, 1 pistol, 1 long gun, 2 magazines, a large cache of assorted live ammunition, fabricated firearms, criminal charms, 7 suspected stolen vehicles, a human skull, stolen motorcycles, and other incriminating items.
The Imo State Police Command has expressed its determination to sustain intelligence-driven operations, strategic training, and aggressive crime-fighting measures to ensure the safety of lives and properties across the state. From Owerri, Amarachi Ibe, Global TV News.
The Zone 2 Police Command, Onikon Lagos, has uncovered 425 bags of substances suspected to be Canadian loud during a major anti-drug operation in the Mende area of Maryland, Lagos. Assistant Inspector General of Police Moshood Jimo said the operation followed credible intelligence linking a 41-year-old suspected drug kingpin to trafficking activities, prompting months of surveillance by detectives attached to the Zonal Criminal Investigation Department. Police authorities say the suspect was eventually tracked and arrested on May 19th as investigations into the alleged drug network continued. Nigerian has intensified nationwide surveillance and emergency preparedness measures against Ebola virus disease following the growing outbreak in Uganda and the Democratic Republic of Congo. The Nigerian Center for Disease Control and Prevention announced on Saturday. In a fresh public health advisory issued by the Director General of NCDC, Jide Idris, the agency said Nigeria has not recorded any confirmed case linked to the ongoing regional outbreak, but warned that the risk of importation remains high because of international travel population movement and the scale of transmission in affected East African countries. The agency said its latest risk assessment identified border communities, major transport hubs, and international points of entry as high-risk areas requiring enhanced monitoring. The Lagos State government says it apprehended 931 people for waste management offenses, inspected 2,251 sites, and sealed 239 facilities during intensified environmental enforcement operations carried out across the state within the last year. Commissioner for Environment and Water Resources, Tokunbo Wahab, disclosed this during the 2026 ministerial press briefing in Ikeja, adding that over 650 tons of construction waste were evacuated, while 1,711 contravention notices were issued to offenders. The government also announced the installation of 114 air quality sensors across Lagos and the introduction of cleaner fish processing technology at Agro Ekun Makoko, aimed at reducing pollution and improving public health. As Muslims across Nigeria prepare for Eid al-Kabir celebrations, ram markets in Abuja are witnessing low patronage driven by rising inflation, high transportation costs, and worsening economic conditions. Sarawak Nasri visited major ram markets in the Federal Capital Territory and reports that many traders are recording poor sales compared to previous years. The report.
Performing Layya is a confirmed sunnah for every adult Muslim who has the financial means to afford it beyond their basic daily needs. It is not obligatory, but highly recommended and becomes mandatory only if you make a specific vow to do so.
In Islam, scholars continue to remind the faithful that the slaughter of an animal during Eid al-Kabir is a highly recommended sunnah and not compulsory, especially for those facing financial hardship. Many are therefore advised to prioritize family welfare amid current economic realities. At the Pipasama Ram Market in Abuja, the chairman Umar Buddha says patronage has dropped significantly this year, noting that purchasing power among residents has weakened considerably.
So last year, in the past now market, you know something can happen, this remain here. For last year, it passed market for this last round. Now, market it go small. Before kuma rank, it finish here, people will go find and know it.
At the Waru Livestock Market, Chairman Ibrahim Imrana also confirms low turnout of buyers, explaining that while some traders are still bringing in animals, sales remain far below expectations as the seller period approaches.
So, but last year, people come, Salah to 10 days to Salah, people they rush to come to buy. But now, people never come. Everybody they cry for money, no money. So we thank God, we they sell small.
Some ram buyers say prices have increased beyond what many customers can afford, while others believe the prices are still within a fair range despite economic pressures.
Well, I think the prices this year is generally very fair. But I don't know, maybe because you still have some few days to Salah. But from what I'm seeing now, the prices are fair.
Well, and I'm not able to buy because it's too cost.
Market is high. When I ask them compared to last year, and when I ask them, they say because of the cost of transportation, that's made the money high. Because what they pay for transport last year is higher than what they are paying now.
Layya, the Islamic practice of animal sacrifice during Eid, is observed after the Eid prayer and continues until the end of the third day of celebrations. However, market realities this year show that many families may be unable to participate due to financial constraints. Stakeholders say the current economic situation is reshaping Salah spending patterns, with many households prioritizing essential needs over traditional festive purchases. Zahra Nasr, Global TV News.
The Headquarters Joint Task Force Northeast Operation Hadi-K has assured residents of the Northeast of adequate security ahead of the Eid el-Kabir celebrations scheduled for Wednesday, May 28, 2026. In a statement issued by the Media Information Officer, Lieutenant Colonel Sani Uba, the military said comprehensive security measures had already been activated over the theater to ensure peaceful celebrations despite threats posed by remnants of Boko Haram and Islamic State West African province. The command also extended warm felicitations to all Muslim faithfuls ahead of the Eid el-Kabir celebrations and wished residents of the region a peaceful and joyous festivity. The Kano State Sector Command of the Federal Road Safety Corps has deployed no fewer than 1,889 personnel for a week-long special patrol operation ahead of the 2026 Eid el-Kabir celebrations. The Sector Command's Public Relations Officer, Abdullahi Labaran, disclosed this in a statement released to journalists. The statement noted that the special patrol operations, which commence on 25th May and run through 31st May 2026, form part of the Corps' strategic operational activities usually carried out during festive periods, characterized by increased vehicular movement and heavy traffic on major highways. You are watching the live broadcast of News Cycle. News Cycle continues after this weather forecast plus business, foreign and sports stories on the other side of this break. Please stay with us.
Hello and thank you for joining us. The rains are gradually becoming more organized across the country and many areas have recorded a decent amount of rainfall over the past few days. So if you've been enjoying the cooler temperatures lately, well, there's more on the way. So now let's talk about what to expect heading into Tuesday. An overnight weather system is expected to trigger more thunderstorms across parts of Taraba, Adamawa, the Federal Capital Territory, Kaduna, parts of Nasarawa, Niger, and Kogi State. So if you live in any of this area, you may want to keep that umbrella nearby before heading out in the morning. And for those of you along the coastal and the southeastern region, including Lagos, parts of Oyo and Ogun State, expect a wet start of the day with widespread morning rains likely during the early hours. Don't be surprised if the skies stay cloudy for most of the morning. But that's not all. By late afternoon, another round of rainfall and thunderstorms are expected to redevelop, affecting parts of the northwest, including Gombe, Bauchi, parts of Adamawa, Taraba, much of the north-central region, and several cities across the southern half of the country. So for what we're seeing, the atmosphere is becoming increasingly active and more wet weather is expected to continue over the next couple of days. Stay weather aware and I'll see you again. Thank you for watching.
You're welcome back, and if you're just tuning in, this is News Cycle on Global Television. Thank you for staying with us. In business now, Nigeria's economy recorded a real gross domestic product growth of 3.89% year-on-year in the first quarter of 2026. According to new figures released by the National Bureau of Statistics, the latest performance marks an improvement from 3.13% growth recorded during the same period in 2025, with agriculture emerging as the most improved sector after expanding by 3.15%. The service sector contributed the highest share to the country's GDP at 57.73%, while aggregate GDP at basic price rose to more than 110 trillion naira in nominal terms. The federal government has warned Nigerians against traveling abroad without valid travel documents, describing the practice as illegal and dangerous. In a public advisory posted on X, the Nigerian Immigration Service cautioned that all international travel must be undertaken with valid passports, visas, and other approved immigration documents. The agency also warned citizens against fraudulent migration schemes promising jobs and better opportunities abroad, saying many victims end up facing human trafficking, forced labor, and other forms of exploitation. Moving on to the Nigerian Association of Liquefied Petroleum Gas Marketers has raised the alarm over erratic supply and rising cost of liquefied petroleum gas, otherwise known as cooking gas, warning that situation could trigger scarcity and worsen hardship for millions of Nigerians. In a statement jointly signed by the national president of the association, Edu Iyang, and the executive secretary, Basi Essen, the association described the development as sad and rather very pathetic. The association said cooking gas is now selling for over 1,500 naira per kilogram, while marketers currently pay between 25.2 million naira and 26.2 million naira for 20 metric tons of product, depending on the location. The product is sold at between 1,600 naira and 2,000 naira by many other dealers. On the foreign scene, Britain is experiencing an unusual early summer heat wave, with temperatures in parts of London rising above 30 degrees Celsius during the May holiday weekend. Authorities have issued amber weather warnings across parts of England as residents voice concern over rising temperatures and the growing impact of climate change. Mukhtar Qasim tells us more.
Crowds gathered across central London as unusual high temperatures pushed residents and tourists outdoor along the River Thames. London Bridge, another popular attraction. Weather officials say temperatures climbed above 30 degrees Celsius, with forecasts warning that the country could record one of its hottest May temperatures on record. Many residents say while the sunshine is welcome, the intensity of the heat feels unusual for the United Kingdom, while some linked the condition to climate change and rising global temperatures.
It's nice to have it, but it is much, much hotter than it should be in the UK.
It should be 27 at least.
Well, yeah, it's funny being this warm in the UK. I've never known it like this.
Yeah.
I am worried about it because it obviously shows that global warming is happening, definitely.
Yeah,
but equally,
disrupting our seas, like destroying cover.
Yeah,
the
definitely.
life.
So we are worried that it is getting warmer and warmer. It's certainly changed.
And sunstroke.
Yeah.
Well, the weather from one point is very lovely, but from the other point is rather challenging. But then again, one can't complain too much because it's okay up here, sitting next to the weather with just a little bit of breeze and a little bit of shade. But when you get down on the underground and things like that, it does become a bit over the top. So I'm trying, really, the holidays used to start around July. That's when it used to get sort of really hot. And where I live in Leicestershire, which is in the middle of the county, the Leicester fortnight, as they used to call it, was the first 2 weeks in July when everybody went on holiday.
But the weather here, it's like a mini version of hell. It's boiling. It's like really hot. You know, the sunscreen, it will protect me, but it's really hot. I'm worried because like this is our planet, there's no planet B, and I really think that we should protect our country with all that we can, so we can like try live here longer, and like we don't want to trash our planet, do we?
The United Kingdom recorded its hottest year on record in 2025, with scientists warning that extreme heat waves, floods and prolonged droughts are becoming more frequent due to climate change. Mukhtar Kasim, Global TV News.
In sports stories now, 17 players have reported to the Super Eagles camp in London as Nigerians' preparation intensify for tomorrow's Unity Cup semi-final against Zimbabwe at the Valley. Eric Chile's side held another training session at Cray Valley FC, Middle Park Avenue, London yesterday. Nigeria faced Zimbabwe at the Valley, London on Tuesday. Goalkeeper Francis Uzoho, defender Chubuike Owamu, and forward Rufai Durosimi were the latest arrivals, joining 14 players who had already checked in on Saturday. Shooting Stars Sports Club have secured qualification for next season's CAF Confederation Cup after finishing third in the 2025-26 Nigeria Premier Football League campaign despite a final day defeat to Niger Tornadoes. The Ibadan-based side accumulated 60 points from 38 matches to return to continental football for the first time since 1999, ending a 27-year-old absence from the African competitions. The achievement followed the major restructuring initiated by the Oyo State government ahead of the season, including appointment of a new corporate-led management team to revive the club's competitiveness. Now that's it on News Cycle. A quick reminder that Global TV is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. Now kindly follow us across all social media platforms now showing on your screen by using @GlobalTVNG. I am Jumai Manson. Thank you for watching.